Everyone, it's Friday 1940 here. Today we're taking a look at sea power naval combat in the Missile Age, and this is Red Tide Rising mission number 1, No Room to Maneuver. Essentially, we're taking the Ticonderoga and the Valley Forge on a freedom of navigation operation through the Taiwan Strait. We have the radar's going right now, but it says to be at MCON Alpha as we go through the strait, so that is going to be turning off everything, and in terms of the game, it's just all the sensors are off. So this is pretty cool here. This is really neat. There are a lot of tracks, and this is kind of what you would imagine. You can see the tracks coming up and down, really clear fishing or transit lanes for merchant vessels and things like that, so that's really neat to see. It's really amazing. Alright, Roland Scrand, Type 59 from bow to stern with his binoculars. Wow, it looks familiar, huh? Oh, this is written like a story. My goodness. He shifted over to the right side of the bridge, and not a few seconds later his OOD called over. Captain TAO reports the Type 59 is painting us, and their main gun is trained on us. He moved and took the telephone from him. TAO, this is the captain. Raise general quarters. Set condition 1, maintain course and heading, and give me a firing solution on that lead. Type 59, report any changes immediately. TAO, captain, all understood. Reporting any changes. Alright, cool. So these must be the Type 59s. Is that what? Yeah, that's what they are from the what? From the Chinese Navy. Interesting. Looks like a good old sprue can to me. Of course, we don't have any mods. Alright, so if we set general quarters, basically the whole ship would kind of come alive and people would go up to their general quarter stations. When I was on Destroyer, my first one, I had a couple different stations, and the first one I had was back in Nixie, and that was a good one to put a new guy in, because like really you don't do anything. You have to set the material condition in that area, and everyone's kind of got their own responsibility, and then you phone up to sonar and say it's all set back aft, and then when all of sonar set, they send that up to combat systems maintenance central and let them know, and then they would report that to engineering. Alright, so these guys are kind of cruising towards us. I wish wish we could train our guns on them. It's too bad none of us can do that in this game. Like, they can't do that and we can't do that to them. So there's quite a bit of that in the at sea. Kind of have tensions build and stuff, but a lot of times it's most countries don't want to destroy each other randomly or have miscalculations, so they talk pretty clearly on bridge to bridge. Just hear the jets coming by. Sound of freedom. Love it. Never gets old. Not a few minutes later, the forward lookout yelled, "Bridge, forward lookout, visual muzzle flash on that Type 59. Shell screamed by the bridge, tearing of the air heard and reverberating through the room. Ronald yelled through his intercom, "TAO captain, weapons free, weapons free. Those Chi-Coms have given us grief long enough." Okay, so it sounds like we get to shoot back. Alright. What do I want to do here? Go for an instant quick kill. Oh, we're still... Let's hit this guy with Salvo 2. Try to knock him out really quickly. And guess we'll blast him with the 5-inch. Actually, we could do this too. Yeah, this will be good. Salvo 4. And then also hit him with the 5-inch. This guy, I guess we'll just do same thing. So those harpoons, well, we'll do a couple SMs at this guy's in the rear, and then we'll do the 5-inch up forward, because those harpoons are probably going to take a little time to get there, even though it's 12 nautical miles. All right, let's see how this goes. Okay, missile away. Ooh. They took a hit. It's just nuts. Okay, there's that other destroyer far back after there. My goodness. Oh, I just want to continue watching. I kind of don't want to play. Just to see what the heck's going to go on here. Let's take a look at what this guy's doing. Oh, he's hurting. That's pretty good. Ooh, very nice. I think the sprue can here is just getting peppered, but... Alright. Salvo 2 of this guy. Alright, he looks like he's dead in the water there. This other guy's also slowing down. Oof. Nice. Alright, where is his friend? His friend's way back that way. Oh, he's firing 5-inch at us. Salvo 2 at this guy. Oof, that was a good secondary explosion there. Alright, Ticonderoga, Valley Forge, repositioning orders. Reposition southeast of the Taiwan Strait and make for Guam. Follow on orders upon arrival. Second Chinese HJ-6s are inbound to your position. Expect anti-ship cruise missiles. Okay. So, those guys are hurt pretty bad. Those guys are still firing. Unfortunately, we'll do salvo 4 here. Oh. I'd like to use a harpoon, but the sprue can carcass over here, or the whatever that is, the type 50 something, 59, is in the way. Oh, it looks like she actually succumbed to her wounds there, so that's good. Alright, I'll stay with direct control for now. Valley Forge, I don't want to have direct control, I just want them to return to formation. They should be following, that's good. Alright, we're going to come up to flank, we're going to pull back, go to the Guam marker there. Oh man, look at this radar clutter, my goodness, we need to see... Need to make sure we don't have any... Oh, those are probably aircraft tracks right there. 463 knots. You can believe that to be airliners, but they're pretty close to each other. Maybe this one... These two are close together. I think these are hostile. 207 knots each. That almost kind of looks like a speed profile of like a turboprop plane. Alright, we'll monitor that. This guy, I think, is just one contact by himself, and he's going a lot faster, so he's kind of like an airliner. He looks like an airliner. He could be a bomber. So I'm not comfortable shooting at him yet, but this other one has 2 aircraft, and they're close to each other, so they do look very suspect. Alright, I think I'll give this guy waypoint thing now. That's good. Yeah, that was a pretty close in brawl there. Let's see how this guy's doing. I think... Did you not get hit at all? Looks unscathed. Tycho, though, did take a few hits, I think. Yeah, slight damage. Valley Forge, let's take a look again. Yeah, none. Okay. Coming around. Yeah, so I first GQ station was in Nixie, and then I think after that I was in Combat Systems Equipment Room 3. We just call it Caesar 3. And that had, on the destroyer, there's like a horseshoe P-way around it, and there's a lot of fittings in that P-way that you have to take care of, and it was like me and some other guy that had to take a run around all over the place and put all the hatches down and stuff like that, and then report up. So it kind of took a while. It might take like a couple minutes to get everything all squared away. You try to do that as fast as possible, but yeah, it's just there's a lot to handle. Avoiding collision. You guys are cool. You guys are all right. No need to do that. And then finally, I was in sonar control as what was I? I think I was one of the sensor operators, like probably would have been the tail or the SQQ-28, which is the sonobuoy processing stuff. And that equipment is funny because at least when I was in, some people were just afraid of it. Like they didn't want to sit at that console because it was not as intuitive as using the towed array stuff, and people did it so infrequently, mostly because they were afraid of it, that they would kind of forget how to use it and stuff and not feel comfortable with it. And the sonobuoy stuff happens rapid pace, because if you could imagine when you play this game, if you're trying to keep up with a submarine, you're dropping buoys around him, right? And then the sub's constantly moving, so your buoys are staying stationary. That means you gotta spit out a bunch of them in front of them, and then you keep tuning up buoys and tuning and detuning buoys and all that kind of stuff. So it happens really quickly, and there's a lot of things you need to look for when you're monitoring and tracking the thing. So a lot of people didn't like it, but I loved it. It was really fun because it was just rapid pace. It was kind of like a fun game for me. And then ultimately I was like the sonar soup down there for GQ, which was nice. Man, what is this guy? Is this guy gonna whip around? Hopefully. Didn't check his formation. We should have checked that. Alright, let's see what this guy's doing still. He's slowed down now. He's no longer going 400 knots. He's going 146. They all have the same altitude. This is they're not responding, and they're flying together like that in close formation. 207 knots, 32,000 feet, almost 33,000 feet. Request you identify yourself. Nope, nothing. You know what? Yeah, I didn't realize we had these fighters. Oh, they're the Sentry escort. Well, escorts don't really have to be right on top of the Sentry. Kind of put them out up front a little bit so they can have some time to react. He's got his radars going, so that's good. E3's got his radar going, so that's good as well. Got some smaller aircraft around here. Maybe some fighter planes or something. Ooh, AS2s, alright. 146, okay, I'm gonna call these guys hostile. Yep. Should be at weapons free. So they'll just go ahead and engage all the air contacts that are within range. There they go. Give this guy weapons free as well. Okay, so we'll see how this engagement goes. That's a crazy looking missile. Let's look at the stats on this. Nope, maybe not, maybe not. I guess not. Starting to dive down now. Okay, so there's 4 missiles going towards that one. Damn, this thing is going 1.1 thousand kilometers, or 1,000 knots. That's fast. Okay, and now he's going nothing. Alright. So the other aircraft are 100 plus miles from us, 123 with this aft group there. Fighters are pulling out a little bit. Kind of watching the radar echoes, make sure no aircraft, unidentified aircraft, are blending in here. All right, let's speed this up a bit. See what happens. Oh, there's some aircraft over here too. All right. Let's go see what these aircraft are about. Alright, so we got missiles coming in. Did they take care of it? They did not. Let's see. Have these guys, I guess, take a look at that. Yeah, I'm not asking for all these ships and boats to identify themselves. Maybe I could do that with aircraft, but if you were to do that with the ship, I think the way the game works is whoever's asking, they kind of instantly become known if you are querying an enemy, right? So they won't respond, so you won't know the answer, but then they know you're there. Oof. This is getting pretty crazy here. Alright, thank you. It looks like the F-15s have split. Don't want to get them too close to the coast. Probably, yeah, tell them to ceasefire. These guys are 70 miles, 75 miles almost to there, so we'll just hold them back here to kind of circle around. I think seeing these guys turn back, it looks like we can expect another volley of missiles coming towards us. The whole time we are hauling butt to this waypoint marker, Guam. So Guam is pretty awesome. I lived there as a kid for like 5 years or something. And then if you're in the Navy and if you're like a West Coast sailor, like when I say West Coast, it's usually the modern bases now are like up in Washington or San Diego, California, or Hawaii. If you're stationed anywhere there on a ship, essentially on your way out to go to a deployment to the Middle East, you'll probably stop. If you're from continental United States, you'll probably almost certainly stop in Guam for a port visit, or Hawaii, which is nice. And then usually you'll come down to Guam, which is like right around here. There it is. So you got Guam. I can't remember the order of the islands. I think Rota and then Saipan. And then further north, this is all the Marianas Islands chain. So Guam was actually, I think, one of the first U.S. territories that was captured by the Japanese after hostilities were declared. And it was also, I think, one of the first American, one of the islands that we lost that we took back first. So it's pretty cool. Because of that, there is still to this day, I think they find World War II ordnance all over the place. When I was actually going to school there, I think I was in first grade, and I was going to school somewhere in the southern part of the island. I think the invasion, when the U.S. landed, I think it was around here, somewhere around here, or maybe it was around here. I know one of these things is partially like man-made from all the material left over. They just kind of bulldozed it into the ocean and put like sand and stuff around it. Anyways, there's actually a crater in one of those places from a bomb that had gone off in the water, and they built a little kind of like an underwater viewing platform that you can climb down into and just see the ocean around you. It's pretty neat. But yeah, the school I went to, the groundskeeper was mowing the lawn, and I can't remember if I was either in kindergarten or first grade, and the groundskeeper mowing the lawn like normal with his like riding mower, and he hit something metallic, and he's like, "What the heck is that?" And there's some little metal shard blade looking kind of thing sticking out of the dirt, and then he digs around it some more, and it's like it looks like some sort of fin assembly, and they immediately called the U.S. Navy because we have EOD there, because Guam's got quite a few military facilities, and so they evacuated all of us, like the fire department and stuff like that. And I remember getting bused to like some other school, and I was a confused little kid because I was like, why am I going to some other school when this is the place that I'm meant to be at? And I was completely unaware of what was happening. Later on, my brother and my older sister told me, because they were watching the news that day, and they're like, what the heck happened to you today? Eventually, the Navy had removed the bomb. I think it was like a 250 kilogram or 500 kilogram bomb. It's pretty hefty. And they put it on a barge, basically, and towed it out to sea and just detonated it, get rid of it. But yeah, it's pretty nuts, because you could... Guam has... there's a lot of caves and stuff that the Japanese had built along the waterfront, and some people would go down deep into them to kind of look around for stuff, and they would... Let's pull this guy back a little bit. You'd find like something that looked like a grenade, and curiosity always gets the better of some people, and that could be a fatal mistake, touching something that old. All right, so these guys are still running. Seems like we're kind of safe now. I don't know. You know what? I don't think they said that there was any submarine threat, but maybe we'll just throw out our tow decoy and our towed array just to... Oh, this guy doesn't have... Oh, that's right. These... I forget that the cruisers in the game are so old in their modeling that they don't have the towed array. Many of them... I think all of them eventually got the towed arrays. But yeah, let's throw that out there. Another crazy thing about Guam is there was a Japanese soldier who I can't remember if it was like somewhere in the 70s is when he surrendered. He never thought that Japan had ended the war, so basically when the U.S. took the island back over, he continued to have like an underground war against farmers and stuff like that. He would steal things that he needed to survive, but he ended up I think hiding around this this waterfall area called Telefofo, and he originally was survived with a few soldiers, and over the years, this guy was out there for decades by himself. Over the years, the other guys had passed away and stuff, but he continued to fight, and he even had a radio. And when the Tokyo Olympic Games happened, I think in the 60s, maybe like in 68 or something, he heard about it, but he thought it was a whole elaborate hoax to kind of lure him out, to trap him. So he didn't believe it, but eventually, I think he was stealing something from some farmers, and finally the police department caught him, and then he was repatriated back to Japan. And I don't know if it was like 76, but it might have been like 74, 75. So he was out there in the boonies for quite a while. It's pretty nuts. Guam was just a trip. Being there as a little kid was wild, because you could go run out in the boonies, and there's just like aircraft wreckage and tank wreckage and stuff like that that's still just kind of lost out there. And then of course there's like brown tree snakes that were introduced to the island because of the war, because all the ships going from island to island basically. It was pretty crazy. Captain TAO condition 2 set heading 145, all ahead MCON Alpha. Roland silently turned off the intercom and began taking off his flash hood. He stepped off the bridge and saw his EXO looking out to the ocean. Holy shit, Skipper, that was close. Best and worst 5 minutes of my life. Agreed. A moment of silence went between the two, watching some of the run crew out onto the deck. Oh, probably watching some of the crew run out onto the deck to vomit the nervousness away. It'll take us 3 days to get to Guam, first through the Philippines, Said Roland, and then into open waters. The Chinese subs will be waiting for us in the straits. I know. Start running ASW drills. We need to be ready. Aye, aye, skipper. Cool. All right. Decisive victory. Not bad, not bad. And a really short mission. That's really fun. It's just basically get into this really close knife fight with these two ships and then survive. It's really awesome. Okay, that was pretty cool. I don't know when this stuff was introduced, but this is really nice. I like seeing this. Neutrals penalty and then efficiency. I don't know what they score the efficiency against, or how they decide that, but it's cool seeing more stats down here. Yeah, we got those two ships, whatever they call them, the Type 59s, and the helicopter components that they carried on board. Nothing else. We didn't get any of those bombers. I'm curious to see what they were, because I guess the H6s are equivalent to what, like a Tu-16 or something, or am I thinking of a different bomber? Might be a Tu-16. I don't know. Anyways, that was pretty fun, and I appreciate it was really short. I like shorter missions, obviously, because I'm a busy dad, so I have to balance regular life and play games when I can, and recording videos for you guys too, which is pretty fun, and then sharing stories. I really always like that. So yeah, I like short missions that just kind of get to the point. It's interesting seeing how the narrative goes. It's kind of like reading a book, and it's kind of it's almost, I don't know, it's kind of strange because you get the tone is set like kind of through the dialogue there, but sometimes, you know, it might not match the player. Like me, I'm just kind of, I don't know, free spirited, I guess, when I play these games, because it's not as serious to me. Certainly was when you do stuff like that in real life, I'm sure, but I like to be chill when I play games. So anyways, yeah, this is I think the name of the mission is called like No Room to Maneuver, and it's it's the first mission in the series, the Red Tide Rising series, by RJN3. Of course, I will always post this in the description, so you can get the link to the mission and try it yourself. It's pretty cool, and if it's an easy way to get into close combat just instantly, it's pretty fun. And I look forward to seeing the second mission, because it sounds like that's going to be an ASW one, and that's kind of all up. That is what I enjoy in the game. Love doing ASW stuff. I like that sea power. Unlike some other games, I really like sea power. Allows you to have the perspective of the surface combatants and the aircraft that they would work with to hunt submarines, because a lot of submarine themed games are just playing the submarine, and to me it's not as fun, because it's like you're already playing as like what's perceived to be the apex killer in their environment, that they have the advantage, and I think it's more fun to play as someone that's trapped at the top of the ocean, right? Because the sub can maneuver up and down through the layer depending on what they want to do, and we're just stuck up top. They know we're up there, so to me it's more fun that way. It's a little bit more challenging, even though sometimes it doesn't seem like that, but that's because the AI doesn't do some things it probably should be doing, but I'm sure it'll get there. It's still really fun, and I really enjoy it. Anyways, yeah, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll get to them as soon as possible. See you in the next one. Bye!